Welcome to الكرامة news channel. I'm Ahmad Wajdi and this is our top stories tonight. General Command of the Arab-Libyan Armed Force congratulate in a statement all the Libyan people and the soldiers, officers of the armed force, police officers and the young dignity men and the families of the dead and wounded Libyan people on Eid al-Adha. We ask God to bring him back to Libya and to the Islamic nation with blessing. The statement also say that the armed forces were able to defeat the terrorists by the people and promise of a victory to the Libyan people on the terror and return of security and stability to the country. Libyan citizens have done Eid al-Fitr prayer this morning in the mosques and the squares. After the prayer, imams focused in their talks on the call of forgiveness and stop the bloodshed and reject violence and extremism. The hands of the prayer have risen to call Allah for the country and its people to be safe and secure, and the army that God supports in the war on terror, and to make this country secure, stable and save people from enemies and traitors. Sabah City witnessed a movement in the markets and shops despite of the security conditions in the region in the last few days of Ramadan month. Citizens went to stores, clothing stores, shops, sweets and toy shops, although it's not like the previous holidays because of the security choice in the city. Notable that some citizens did not receive their salaries yet. Heavy fighting between the Arab-Libyan Armed Force and the terrorist group Daesh group in Al-Fatihi area east of Darna city was this morning. The military source confirmed that the clashes between the armed forces and the elements of the terrorist groups were arriving in the area between the Swama and the Fatihi University. Also, the elements of the terrorist groups was completely trapped in Al-Fatihi area, which lead to the escape of numbers of them and hiding in nearby farms for the others. An informed source confirmed that an case of fire agreement was reached between the Tibo and the Tuareg tribes for just this week, under the supervision of the representatives of the tribes of Al-Kazosfa and Al-Hassauna and the Rabaya and Al-Wazawad in Sabah city, to be agreed to solve this problem in a final agreement. Notable that a number of families of Al-Turi area of some Arab tribes also and Al-Tibu and the Tuareg tribes have been displaced to escape from the clashes between the two tribes a few days ago, and which no one knows yet the direct cause of it. Media spokesman for the medical center in Sabah, Usama Al-Wafi, said that they have been buried 16 unknown bodies in one of the city tombs after it became difficult to identify them. Usama said that the burial process was after taking permission from a public prosecutor and examined by the medical examiner. He also added that the bodies was shown signs of torture and gunshot wounds, and the bodies belonged to people of African nationalities. Witnesses from Sabah city confirmed that Captain Ahmad Salah Abu Sabah killed and his car was burned in Garda area in the city. Witnesses say that he was working as a head of the security station in Sabah city and killed by the clashes taking place in the city between the Tibu and the Tuareg tribes. A medical source of Sabah Medical Center also confirmed that the center received 15 dead men and 31 wounded. The clashes broke out between the two tribes. Daesh terrorist group claimed responsibility for the tourist car bomb explosion on the checkpoint on Road Al-Ha'ir in Saudi Arabian capital Riyadh. The spokesman for the Saudi Interior Ministry reported that the bombing had killed the driver and wounded 2 security men. He also added that the driver of the car had killed his uncle and took the car to use it in this bombing. Notable that the terrorist group has made a number of terrorist operations in Saudi Arabia recently, including suicide bombing in mosques and attack on military points. Polish President Bronisław Komorowski announced his holding of the legitimate elections on the end of this October this year. President confirmed that the elections will be under the supervision of the international observers to ensure the fairness. Notable that the opinion polls show that 33% of the voters support the Law and Justice Party, while 23% supports the ruling party in the city civil form. The Nigerian security source, an Nigerian security source, said that 3 underage suicide bombers blew themselves this morning in Damaturu city, northeast of the country. The sources adding that the explosion killed at least 13 people who were near a place to set up Eid al-Fitr prayer. Notable that Nigeria witnesses a wave of suicide attacks launched by the terrorist Boko Haram group in villages and residential areas. This was all. For more, you can also follow us on our website, الكرامة.tv, our pages, Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. Thank you very much.